Welcome back to the channel! After football history hunting in Blackburn and Shrewsbury, we're now back in Sheffield. For now anyway. If you're new to the channel, this is the place where we take time to examine very early association football. We spend a lot of time in the English northern city of Sheffield, since the city simply is the world's biggest open-air football museum and where you will find most of the beautiful game's very early history. It's the world's first city of football, the home of football, and fully deserves to be granted UNESCO World Heritage status as the birthplace of the planet's biggest game. We're actually in the Wicker area just east of the centre, and yes, once again looking for tales to tell about the city's amazing football heritage. So what footballing story can you find under an old railway viaduct locally known as the Wicker Archers? Well, on the morning of the 2nd of January 1865, a party from Sheffield FC boarded a train at the old Wicker-based Midland station to travel south to nearby Nottingham. The purpose of the trip was to play a game of football against the recently formed Nottinghamshire club. This Nottinghamshire club later became known as Notts County. It had officially been created at the George Hotel in Nottingham on the 7th of December 1864. Sheffield FC's Harry Chambers actually had connections with Nottingham, and the evidence suggests he encouraged the formal formation of the Nottingham-based club. This was also the likely reason why the two clubs decided to play each other less than a month after the new club's inception. The early Nottinghamshire club was made up of many well-known cricketers, and so it's no surprise that the match took place just south of Nottingham Centre, at the then Meadows Cricket Ground. The area today is now known as the Queen's Walk Recreation Ground and can be found next to Queen's Walk tram stop. The Sheffield players arrived here and the game commenced at 1:30. The match itself would have taken place in the middle of the recreation area, the pitch likely covering the ground where this line of trees now stands. These trees are not marked on the old maps showing the layout of the cricket pitch in the 1860s. Notts took the east end of the pitch and Sheffield the west. Reports of the game indicate that there was a reasonable sized crowd watching the match, presumably stood around the edge of the pitch. Notts made a good start, but Sheffield soon took control. This match is notable for two reasons. It was the very first football match in the world to take place between clubs from two different towns or cities, Nottingham and Sheffield. It is also a match which, by being played outside of Sheffield, was reported on by non-Sheffield based newspapers, whose reporters noted Sheffield's impressive passing and formation based style of the game. Some of our earliest reports of passing in football therefore come from this match. Sheffield won the game 1-0, a goal scored by James Wilde. After a meal at the George Hotel in the centre of Nottingham, the victorious Sheffield players returned to Sheffield. They disembarked their train back at the Wicker and celebrated by kicking the match ball all the way under the Wicker Archers, through the town, and eventually ending up in the western Broom Hill area, which is where the York Hotel then stood and still stands today. The now pub is where York FC originate from, the world's oldest club to be formed from a hotel in 1861. John Charles Shaw reportedly ended up with the ball from this historic game. I wonder where that historic ball is today. Till next time.